everybody, to SnakChat, the show where we chat with some guests while we do some taste tests. And on today's very special episode, we've got some friends here from the library. We've got Diane Dehoney and Dalton Bennett here. Thank you guys so much for joining us here on SnakChat.
Thanks for having us.
This is the peak of my week, so I'm so excited.
We were talking before we had Ernie, I think late last year on the show from the library, and you all said he enjoyed himself, right? He kind of spoke highly of the experience.
Very much so.
Okay, good.
He came back to us. He did Mountain Dew taste testing. He came back to us fully caffeinated, ready to go.
He spoke a little too much.
All right, a little too chatty. I got you. Well, we'll see how the snacks leave you all today. It might be some sugar, maybe a sugar high when you get back to work, but we'll see. But before we get into our snacks, let's just find out a little bit more about you two, if that's all right. I know you all said before Diane, you live in Frankfurt.
I do.
Dalton, you live in Louisville. I actually went to U of L, so I'm a bit familiar with the Louisville area. Yeah, but you all actually grew up in neighboring towns. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to take this?
Well, I'm originally from Greene County, and Dalton's from Taylor County.
Okay.
And so when we hired him on, we realized that we're from neighboring towns. So we had a lot to catch up on.
Yeah.
I'm a little older than Dalton.
Yeah. I'm a little younger than
but, small town. Living, we knew a lot of the same people, and we could kind of wax nostalgic about the things we did growing up and the places we went and all that. So it's been a lot of fun to talk about hometown stuff.
Right.
When I came to this position, I am a big believer in intuition, signs, and things like that, and my first instinct with Paul Sawyier, and Paul Sawyier being an artist, was my undergrad's in art, and I thought, okay, that's a sign. And then in my interview, I found out Diane and I had a lot of commonalities, and I was like, okay, this is a big sign. And so it must have worked out.
Like everything was circling towards Paul Sawyier Public Library and Frankfurt. Well, Dalton, tell us what you do at the library as part of sort of your job duties, and what would people kind of expect?
Yeah. So by title, I'm the digital services specialist. I do much like with Ernie, I work a lot with technology. I feel like my avenue is more so technology education. So I do a lot of our computer classes, our digital literacy stuff. My first year with Paul Sawyier, I was doing a lot of online content, teaching about scams, different types of scams. I was a big fan of the show Catfish on MTV, and I think that was sort of my underlying fuel for wanting to pursue a series about scams. Right. But I'm sort of the go-to for anybody that just wants to learn anything technology.
You've done a few of the segments that folks can see on Around 10 or on the Cable 10 YouTube channel as well. You've done a great job with those, but I think that goes a long way helping folks especially with the scams and lots to look out for.
Yeah, it's so prevalent. And I even find myself feeling or asking myself, am I sort of tech literate enough to avoid these? But there have been moments where I've gotten caught off guard by a text or an email that initially looks real, and then through some investigation is fake.
Brett's updating the script live as we're on the show, and mentions to ask you if you still teach the Tech Literacy 101 courses at the library. Yeah,
so I have a series that sort of was born last year where I thought, you know what, I understand to some people computer classes may be old school. I don't know, but I felt confident in sort of bringing those back. So I spent several months sort of designing this curriculum, which has evolved over the year. And so we started the series called Back to Basics, where actually this year we adopted an extra class onto it. But we start with basic computer operations, so we learn the physical computer. Yeah. Then we move on to internet and web browsing. And then after that, we sort of specialize on software such as Microsoft Word and Excel. Yeah. Excel's always really popular.
Oh,
Which
sure.
kind of surprises me because I try and avoid Excel at all costs. But yeah, that's sort of what we offer, and that's once a month. However, I have goals next year to maybe offer a little bit more frequent than that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I think, with those Excel skills, people can take those and use those in lots of different avenues, whether it's a professional space or just at home organizing different things, aspects of their life, and budgeting as well with Excel.
Yeah.
Diane, what do you do at the library? Just remind folks.
Yes, so I am the adult services manager now. I've been at Paul Sawyier for 18 years. I came to Frankfort straight out of my master's in library and information science. I had gone out of state to the University of Illinois to get my master's, but I knew I wanted to come home to Kentucky. And I landed here in Frankfort, and I always tell people I loved it so much that I just never left.
Yeah.
So previously, my role at the library was as the community service librarian, which included doing a lot of community liaison work. I coordinated our adult programming. I was an adult reference librarian, things like that. And then last fall, I was actually promoted to the position I have now, which is adult services manager. Adult services manager, and I'm just really enjoying it. I'm loving this new role. I am the manager for our adult reference department, circulation, and adult outreach, and it's been a really exciting experience, and to kind of learn more about the administrative side of things. And I love this community and the folks that we get to serve every day. And so this has just been a special, just a little bit of a different way for me to do that. So I'm really enjoying it.
You mentioned that you've been at the library for 18 years. Speak on, it must be so cool to see how the library has grown, and just all the amazing staff you all have, like Dalton and Ernie, who we mentioned, just doing amazing work there, right?
Yes.
That's got to be cool to see.
Actually, Ernie came on at the library a couple months before I did. So, So we've been there a long time together. But no, it's wonderful to see how not just Paul Sawyier has evolved, but just public libraries in general. Over the years, we've really seen a shift to a need for the public library to be a community hub, and the services that folks need. It's not just books or DVDs anymore. We're able to point people to community resources, social resources, really to help them out in situations. And Dalton works a lot with career readiness and helping folks find jobs and accessing the materials they need to do that. And so that's been neat. But also, of course, the technology. Dalton's talking about technology. Hopefully he'll talk a little bit while we're here today about our virtual reality programming that we've started, which he's kind of spearheaded and done a wonderful job with. But just from I've loved seeing the shift of how we're able to serve our community in different ways. I feel like the public library is just kind of a living, breathing, ever-evolving being, and it's neat to see from day to day, year to year, how that evolves.
Yeah, and it's been, I know you've been able to see it firsthand, like you said, working there. And then I grew up in Frankfort and lived here outside of going to school in Louisville for quite a while, and just being able to see the library grow and evolve and be a community space. I mean, we're recording this on a Friday afternoon, but the previous night was the flood recovery town hall, and then you all will have heritage lectures throughout the month as well.
Tomorrow?
And, that's right, on Saturday. Yeah, but just lots of events like that, as well as like you said, it's not just books.
No.
Yeah,
we definitely want to be able to provide those information services and resources, but we want to be able to entertain you, and especially with the economy like it is and the world is changing. We're one of the last spaces where you can come and not be expected to have to purchase anything.
Right.
It's all free. Our programming, our materials that you can check out, everything is free, and you can just come in and enjoy it and not have any of that expectation.
That's right. All you need is
for everyone.
All you need is a library card.
Yes, sir.
That's all you need. Well, you mentioned entertain. And we are we're getting some information. We got the formalities out of the way, but I think it's time for us to try some snacks. Before we do that, Dalton, tell us, what's your relationship to snacks? We always ask folks. Sometimes people lean towards sweets or savory or a little bit of both. Where do you kind of stand on that?
I feel like growing up, the household I was in, snacks were not as prevalent in our household. Aside from maybe like cereal.
Okay.
However, in my adulthood, I still find myself leaning towards like not always having snacks in the house. But my husband actually is the snack person, and the most deranged snacks wind up in our pantry, to where I open the pantry and I'm immediately disappointed. So... but however, what we have today, there's only one thing that spooks me. Okay. And everything else, I'm excited.
So I was going to ask you, like, how are we feeling about the lineup today?
Pickles. I am one of the only people in my family who despise anything pickles.
And that's funny, because when Brett was talking to us about doing this, he's like, what do you like? And I'm like, anything sour. I love anything sour. And Dalton just goes,
that or like spicy stuff. However, I was down to do spicy because I thought for comedic reasons, being tortured with spice would be fun.
We'll keep that in mind. Maybe we'll bring you guys back for another round one day and have. I think we're probably a little spared on the spicy stuff today. Diane, what's your relationship with snacks?
I would say I'm probably more of a savory snack person. Sweets every now and again, but definitely I like the sour. I love pickles. Dill pickles, not sweet pickles.
Oh yeah, the important distinction.
Never sweet pickles. Not a fan of those. Have really gotten into the Grillo's pickles lately. Have you ever had those?
I don't think I have actually.
Yeah, they're pretty interesting. I've been trying to get my hands on a product that they make. It's called Pickle de Gallo. It's like pico de gallo, but they make it out of pickles.
Okay.
I don't know. It's fascinating, but I haven't been able to find it here in town. So
okay.
I'll keep it posted.
But you think it's like maybe at a store, probably at a store near you? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll keep an eye on it for it too. My wife, it sounds like she would be really into that as well, I would imagine.
But I'm very excited today. We have the Vlasic Pickle Balls, I think. So
yes.
I think that's what Dalton is afraid of, but I'm game for it.
We'll save those for a little bit. We'll start off easy. We mentioned that where I was asking you guys before we went live, if anybody was a Harry Potter person here at our table.
Listen,
I believe we have at least
one right here.
And that's our first thing that we'll start off with today. It is the Butterbeer Goldfish. A little bit of background info for folks at home and for you all. These came out this year and are apparently a part of the Warner Brothers sanctioned Butterbeer season, which officially began in 2024. It sounds like you've been aware.
I have had, so I've been to the parks several times, and I've had Butterbeer in a variety of forms. So I'm very excited to see how this, especially with it being licensed, how this compares to other Butterbeer treats.
And probably how it compares to the official, the real deal Parks ones. The other releases in the season, other than Goldfish, Skinny Pop Popcorn, which I believe I've had actually at home.
Yeah.
And I think that one was I remember liking that. Yeah.
And it was Butterbeer flavor?
Yeah.
I've had the Skinny Pop, but not the Butterbeer flavor. So.
Keebler cookies and Hershey Kisses.
Yes. Diane did gift me the Hershey, the Harry Potter Hershey one, so I've had those.
These, along with the other snacks in the Goldfish Grams line, have apparently great reviews online. So we'll have to see how they stack up. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right. We'll give these a go. These are Butterbeer Goldfish. Probably find them in a store near you. Start off, definitely smells like Butterbeer, I would say. Yeah. Dalton, what do we think?
So for me, I feel like if you had not told me these were Butterbeer, I don't know if that would have been my first assumption.
Yep.
But also, that, at least, again, for me, that Butterbeer taste felt very superficial, because eventually it was just like a traditional like Teddy Graham sort of cracker taste.
Yep. I totally feel that. Yeah, I'm not getting a ton of what I would describe as Butterbeer, but I mean that's sort of a different kind of unique flavor, I would say. What about you, Diane? What do you think?
I don't know. I kind of agree. I'm getting like a little caramelly almost, but not super butterbeer.
Or butterscotch.
Or butterscotch. Yeah. But at the end, by the time you chew it all up, it's definitely more just like a Teddy Graham.
Yep.
Graham crackery type of flavor.
Yeah, like if you've had any of you're absolutely right. The Teddy Grahams specifically, it's exactly what it tastes like. You're spot on there. Yeah, and then they're asking if they stack up against the Elf Goldfish Grahams. Have you all had?
I haven't had those.
I've never.
I don't think I have either. And the Hello Kitty strawberry shortcake.
I have had those.
Have you really?
Was that was the one Ernie
I think
had?
Ernie had those.
It could have been actually.
Okay.
It's a bit of a blur
I
for
thought
me.
I thought they were pretty good, but
Yeah.
it was, again, they weren't like the graham crackery. They were more of a I don't know, a vanilla-y kind of cookie.
Oh, I had the Elf ones. That's reminded me.
okay.
I went to Susie with Susie Hossley on a previous episode. So yeah, and then we had the Hello Kitty ones with the Lifehouse folks. You know?
Oh, maybe that's what it was. I knew I'd seen those.
It.
but-
Okay. Okay. Well, let's talk Harry Potter. I know we didn't love the Butterbeer Goldfish, but
bad.
I would eat them.
Yeah.
I think had I not known they were Butterbeer, I wouldn't have initially thought that.
Yeah.
But mentally knowing that it is, if I continued to eat them, I would find that flavor.
the John Williams score would just play on repeat in your head. Yeah. Tell me about your Harry Potter fandom.
You know, it was one of the first few books that I remember reading that truly I felt some sort of relation to. I mean, I think when I started reading was around the time, or I was around the same age as what the main character was.
Yes.
So instantly there was that sort of connection there. And it was also at the time, the only book series that I had ever finished and felt so empowered to be able to say that, because the books are huge.
Oh, yeah.
And then the movies came out. I remember like standing in line the opening day that the films came out. And then a few years ago, I had the opportunity to go to Universal to the parks for the first time, and we've been back several times since then. And there's comfort in it, right? The fact that we're still getting lore from this world is exciting. So huge fan, always have been, and still am today.
What about you, Diane?
I'm a fan, nowhere near as much of a super fan as Dalton. I wasn't going to buy into the hype, I feel like.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't start reading them until I was in college, like almost at the end of college, into when I was in grad school. And as I mentioned, I went to grad school in Illinois. And so when I would come back to Kentucky home to visit family, and I would listen to audiobooks. Yeah. And so that's when I got into listening to them, and I really enjoyed listening to them because the narrator was Alan Dale, and he was a phenomenal narrator.
Wonderful.
So if you haven't read them and want to, that's a great option to listen to them, because he's a wonderful narrator. And then I just kind of gobbled them up very, very quickly, driving that 5 hour back and forth every so often, at least once a month. So I really enjoyed listening to them, and of course I've enjoyed the movies as well. But I can't hold a candle to Dalton's fandom.
I will say I do have concerns for this new HBO remake.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, they've slowly dripping news has been dripping out about the cast and things like that.
I think we're in sort of an era right now where we're seeing like older films being remade or new sequels, and it's very difficult for them to land and be successful. Yeah. However, I feel like is Harry Potter old enough yet? Are they old enough yet to have sort of a remake.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Has it been long enough?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, when so Deathly Hallows Part 2 was 2010 or 2011, something like that, which is hard to believe that was, I guess, 14 years ago. But I'm like you, though. It makes me feel like it's maybe not been enough time, but it's so strange with how everything is streaming now, too, where the time is sort of condensed, where we have access to all of these things all the time and kind of run through them, that it kind of, I don't know, it has a weird way of compressing time in a way. So, but I kind of feel the same way like you. I think maybe we should have let that wait a little bit longer before we did a full HBO series. But it does seem like a cool way to maybe expand on the books. You know, the movies had about 2 hours, 2.5 hours each to get through an entire book.
Now we're getting a whole season per book.
Like,
and I think there are opportunities in these books that were never displayed in film, and so there are characters and there's settings that I'm most excited for. But I guess the overall sort of remake of the storyline, I just get nervous that we're gonna have a similar experience as to what we did with Fantastic Beast, and how that was sort of, I think, cut a little short despite some of the dramas, you know, surrounding it.
But I love Eddie Redmayne.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those I remember kind of liking those movies, or at least the first one, and then it seemed like there was missed opportunities in maybe those movies where they could have been, I think, maybe a little more fun.
Yeah.
You know. Okay, real quick before we move on from Harry Potter, Diane, what was did you have a favorite book in the series or anything?
I would probably say Prisoner of Azkaban is my favorite book.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, that was right in the series where things really took a shift.
Yeah.
And we started seeing more mature concepts. The first 2 books, I always say, is just all about the magic.
Yeah.
And then beyond that, it's when we start getting into those themes of decision making and love and sacrifice and things like that.
The heavier subjects kind of come in as the kids are getting older and going through school. Yeah, I think that was like that for me too. I think I was, when those books were first coming out, I was probably at an age where I thought I was too cool for school.
Yeah.
You know, and like, oh, those are kids' books. And then I remember watching the third movie and thought, all right, we're kicking in here. So once that third movie, I really liked the third movie, and then went back and started reading the books from there. And I think I kind of got caught up with the movies just before the last movie came out.
Sirius is introduced in the third book, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of my very favorite characters. Yeah. And then, of course, Gary Oldman. I love Gary Oldman. So with the films, that was great. So I think that was part of why the third one just really stood out to me.
That'll be a tough role to cast, I think, Sirius Black. I said I was going to move on from Harry Potter, but what is your favorite character, though?
Yeah. I have always adored the Misfit. So Luna Lovegood with like a little bit of Neville in there. These characters that become very essential and very powerful in their own right were always sort of my favorite.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. All right, let's try another snack here. Our plates are getting are waiting on us to dive in. The next one here, we'll do the cheese pizza Cheeto Puffs, if that sounds good for you all. These came out earlier this year as well, with a wave of advertising during winter sports. So probably you've heard about these extensively by now. It's a snack that seems to have divided the internet, with some Cheetos fans declaring it an instant classic, while others describe it as a big miss. That's kind of surprising. Yeah, a little surprising given the concept. It's a classic puff made with pizza-inspired seasoning. The SnakChat R&D team uncovered another interesting bit of trivia. Most pizza-flavored snacks don't go over well with snack lovers, Pizza Pringles being a notable exception. That's the one that jumps out to me as well.
Okay, I remember, and this is me showing my age, probably. Do you remember pizzerias? The chips, pizzerias. I bet Brett does.
I think so. That's ringing a bell.
You probably don't. They were very. I liked those. They were very good. They were kind of like a Dorito, but like pizza.
Yes.
My pizza snack that I recall, and I don't remember the name, but they were pretzels that were filled with a cheese of some sort.
Combos.
Yeah.
Oh,
they had
combos.
They had a pizza flavor. Or an Italian flavor, or however you think of it.
Right. Were the pizzeria, were they chips? Were they these?
Yeah.
I remember those. Yeah.
They were
Okay,
really
well,
good.
we'll make sure Brett puts a picture up here,
Okay, yes.
and we'll show this part whenever he gets to editing this one. But yeah, they were Keebler brand. That's wild.
Yeah, they were Keebler, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I do remember that. Okay, cheese pizza Cheeto Puffs. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Ready.
All right, we've got a few here. I'm gonna try to grab one with a lot of the dust on it. Good crunch.
I got pizza right away.
I am getting that. Yep, for sure.
To me, it tastes like a very authentic pizza taste.
Right.
As much as you can
As
make it
much as an
authentic.
Yeah. Diane, what do you think?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, how does it compare to the pizzeria chips?
Similar flavor. I mean, like the texture is different because
Sure.
the other's a chip. But no, that's pretty good. I enjoy that because like even like the aftertaste on it is giving like pizza and like
Yeah.
pizza spices.
Right. I was gonna say the spices. It's not spicy by any stretch.
no.
But it's given a little bit
Like
of that.
spicy flavor, not spicy hot.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
good.
like that. I'm kind of surprised that it's as divisive as
Yeah.
it is. It's got all three of us SnakChat approved. Okay, this is one of my favorite subjects is physical media. I love talking about like collecting and buying books, buying movies, things like that. And since you all work around physical media every day, it's got us. We'll ask a little bit more about maybe physical media later, but it's got us asking about entertainment and things like that. We've talked about Harry Potter. Is there anything you guys are enjoying right now? Diane, anything coming to mind? Maybe a book you're reading or a movie you've recently seen?
I'm trying to think.
Or if Dalton, if you've got one.
Dalton,
Well,
jump in
I'm
while I'm
gonna-
thinking.
I'm gonna
I can sense he's
I'm
got
gonna
one
speak
right.
partially for Diane because it's one of our shared interests.
Okay.
Is anything reality TV.
Oh, yeah.
So
speak on it.
We're big fans of Sister Wives.
Okay. Now,
We-
is that one that like travels around? Do they have like sister wives of a certain location, or is it just?
I think
No,
they recently came out with some newer shows that I think are not necessarily in that regard, but they're showing that there are other families similar to this in different
Yeah,
parts of the
all right.
country. But this one speaks specifically to one family and has for several years now.
all right.
But yeah, that's a really fun one right now. I'm trying to think of. I feel like there was a competition show I just watched on Netflix. There's one called The Circle, which is like a social media
absolutely.
influenced
Yeah,
show.
I've seen a few seasons
that's really
of
good.
The Circle. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I've been meaning to watch Traders, and I think I'm several
Oh.
seasons behind.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people recommend that, and so that's on my two watch list. I'm really excited about. I'm a big Outlander fan, so obviously those stem from a series of books by Diana Gabaldon, but Starz adapted it for a really popular television show or streaming show, and there's one season left that I believe will start next year, but in August of this year they have a prequel series that they're coming out with called Blood of My Blood, I believe is what it's called, but it's going to be a prequel to the Outlander storyline, and so I'm really excited about that.
Oh, is it did you say that was a book or is that a show?
The Outlander series it's a series of books, but then they made a show
remember
from
it was a show. Okay.
Yeah,
yes.
they made the show from the books.
Okay, but is the prequel series? Would that be a book or will that be a show?
You know what? No, that's a TV show.
That's a TV show. Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's coming out in August on Starz.
Okay.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah. You mentioned reality TV and you mentioned Catfish earlier, and that show was incredible. But I remember I just watched the movie that spawned the show.
Yeah, the original.
Yeah, I had just seen that like maybe within the last like 2 or 3 years, and
Yeah.
it was just honestly fascinating.
Yeah.
The whole concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's such a interesting sort of angle to look at when sort of navigating the jungle that is finding a relationship. But also how, especially in today's age and in today's technology, how easy it is to sort of fulfill being a catfish and pretending to be somebody that you're not is interesting.
There was another, you mentioned, Diane, you mentioned the Traders. There's another show on Peacock that is similar. It's like $1 Million or it's like something about like Who's the Millionaire.
Oh,
do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't think I've seen that one.
Have you seen that? Yeah, it's so funny. My wife, sometimes I'll work overtime. We'll have events and things that I'm shooting here, and then so she'll start a show without me, and I'll walk in like halfway through episode 2, and it sounds like you have a similar experience. But I walk in like halfway through, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. What's happening here? Who's he?
Yeah.
Who's this person? Why are they so mad? Why is she so mad at him?
Yeah.
And then I have to like finish watching the whole thing with her, and we binge it. But you watched that show, right? Do you remember the name?
So I know the concept. The name leaves me, but essentially there's a group of these individuals. They're in this like lodge or this cabin sort of resort.
Very scenic.
Yeah. And they sort of secretly pass around $1 million.
Yes.
But the issue is it's sort of, the game, is it Spy, where you have to pick who among you is the imposter or whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
But in this, if you have the $1 million, you have like so many days or a week to make sure people don't know that you have the $1 million. Because if you get found out, then you're cut. That's your elimination.
Yeah, that's it. Like they have found you out. Yeah, and your job, I think, that week, if you have the $1 million, is to convince everybody else that someone else has it.
Exactly.
Or if you don't have it, your job is to find the $1 million.
And you want the $1 million closer to the end of the game show.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you don't have it, you don't win it. That kind of thing. So.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that one. I think a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah. I do. This is maybe not appropriate because we're eating, but I do want to touch on a Netflix documentary I just watched. That's completely just.
I know what you're gonna say.
I know what you're gonna say too.
It involves a cruise ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the poop cruise.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What kind of made me feel like maybe I'm just missing out on pop culture, but they advertised it as being just like the nation just was in awe, and I'm like, I don't remember this.
I don't either, really.
I don't either.
I think maybe seeing that a quick headline or something around the time, and it just felt like, oh yeah, that was wild, and then move on. But they had folks there from CNN where they were like, we're doing 24/7 coverage on this thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never been on a cruise.
I haven't either, but now I'm like, I don't know about this.
I don't think I ever really wanted to be on one, if I'm honest, and that definitely sealed the deal. Nope. Not for me. Yeah.
Also, it teaches you to pay close attention to the fine print because I don't think they had a legal ground to stand on because the fine print explicitly stated like we can't guarantee your safety.
Oh, right. We are not responsible for anything that happens out there on the high seas.
Yeah.
Which is shocking, honestly.
I did just think of another show that I'm watching that I really am enjoying.
Oh, please, yeah.
I think everybody loved Downton Abbey. Like that was the big thing. So it's from their creators. It's called Gilded Age, and it's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
And so I believe it's the 3rd season of that just started, and I'm all in on it. It's getting dramatic. I'm really enjoying it. So if you like Downton, it's a different time period, but if you liked Downton Abbey and kind of the whole vibe of that, you would really like Gilded Age. And one of Meryl Streep's daughters is the main actress in that.
Interesting.
So Louisa Jacobson, I think is her name.
Okay.
But it has some other actors that would be familiar to folks, but she's like the main kind of character.
Nice. Okay, I think we're about ready for another snack if you all are.
Yes.
We're going to go with the sour cream and Funyun Funyuns. What's your all's relationship to Funyuns?
I love this is a chip that is nostalgic for me.
Yes.
I remember, going to a gas station and I typically, if it wasn't Clorance Doritos, it was Funyun. It was also a travel snack. I felt like I only really mostly ever had it if we were traveling somewhere.
Funyuns are like classic gas station food.
Yeah.
Like you're going to pick up a bag of Funyuns.
Yeah. Absolutely. And weirdly enough, they haven't done a whole lot of variant flavors over the years of Funyuns, so this is only the 4th variant.
Because how can you improve on a Funyun?
I think they're struggling with that because it's so good. Since it's a 4th variant since the snack's inception in the mid '60s. I didn't realize that
they've been around that long.
I know. I didn't realize that. These actually dropped in the first quarter of 2025, so they're still fairly new. Okay. The majority of reviews are ambivalent to negative, with most reviewers, particularly Funyuns fans, noting that the sour cream dulls the onion flavor that they've come to crave.
I get like I'm interested because I'm thinking about Funyuns right now, and I can taste the Funyuns, so I'm excited to see what they mean by doling it down.
Me too, yeah, and I genuinely do really like sour cream flavored, like sour cream and onion flavored other chips and things. So, all right, y'all ready?
I'm ready.
Let's give it a shot. There's lots of, visually, there's lots of like spices, like dusting of like the sour cream, little.
Okay.
First off, I think I see what people mean.
Yeah, I didn't really get any Funyun flavor. I mean, for me, it was instantly sour cream.
Yeah, same.
And dare I say, maybe a little stale.
They do kind of seem a little stale, but not necessarily in the chip itself, but the taste.
Yeah.
You can taste when something's
that
stale.
aftertaste, like that, just kind of it lingers.
Yeah. So I could see.
But there's lots of little green stuff on it.
I was struggling for the word.
I know. I'm not very articulate on that today, obviously. But I was expecting it to be a little bit more vibrant of a flavor because of all the little.
It kind of fooled me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought there would be a lot more going on. Yeah. Huh.
What a shame.
That is a shame.
I feel like this would be a snack that I would need to spend time with to kind of initial thoughts were okay. I fully understand the Funyun lovers and why they would respond that way, but again, much like you, I love sour cream and onion stuff, so I feel like this is something I would enjoy. Should I continue giving it a try?
It could be one where if you have like a bowl of it or something that you could,
or maybe like with a sandwich or like with something else where it's like your crunchy. You're
kind of combining some flavor combos with it. Yeah,
that might work.
I like that. Yeah, I hesitate to say bringing it to the couch because that's sort of a thing I bring up on the show all the time. Is I think much like you mentioned, Dalton, that try not to. We in our household we try not to have as many snacks in the house, but inevitably it just happens because we like to try all kinds of different stuff.
I can't bring anything to my couch. I have two English bulldogs, so I can't bring anything lower than my waist.
Yeah.
So if it's below my waist level, I can't bring food down there.
Right.
So.
We try to if I bring anything to the couch, it's got to be like in its own separate like a bowl kind of thing. Like if I bring for me personally like the temptation control, personal control there to not finish an entire bag of like Tostitos or something. It's too much, so I got to put it in like its own little kind of bowl. But I don't know. I don't know that these would make it to the couch for me. I don't know. I don't know that I'd want to. Okay, keeping with we were talking about physical media earlier, keeping with that theme, here's a classic question. We've got, what are your top 5, this is a lot, right? Top 5 desert island books. Or
5?
if you're leaning towards a different medium, you could go albums or movies, anything like that.
Oh, wow.
I feel like 5 is a lot. As soon as I said it, I'm like, man, I don't.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit. Or we could go down a few numbers if you wanted to do just like 3 or something, or 1.
Desert island. I don't find myself there too often, so I'm trying to recall what.
And I always, when I get questions like this, I always over ask. I'm always like, explain this to me. Like, do I get to you say movie? Like, does that mean we have electricity? Are we streaming?
Exactly.
Are we, what are we doing with that?
Yeah.
And or if it's like 1, you're doing the 1 or maybe 5 in this case. You're running through all those all the time.
Maybe not necessarily island, but desert related. We're big like the Mummy fans in my household. So Brendan Fraser, we watch those all the time. And actually, I have very fond memories going to my grandmother's house, and they were like DVD collectors.
Yeah.
And they had this box set of the Mummy that when you open it, it was like the Egyptian key that's used in the film and this whole thing.
Oh yeah.
So not quite island, but desert related.
That's
a big thing.
Okay, I like that. Diane, anything kind of coming to mind? And maybe just like a book or two or a series that you would want to.
So
you could see yourself.
Okay,
and maybe the idea is like see yourself running.
Yes.
Like, on repeat.
So I could definitely go with Okay, my all-time favorite, and these are not going to like make sense together at all.
No.
My favorite book is Gone with the Wind. Just because my great-grandmother and I, that was her favorite book and movie. So it's my favorite book and movie. We had a very special relationship, and so I have a lot of memories are related around that.
Yeah.
So, and that's a whopper of a book. If anybody's ever read it, it's over 1,000 pages. So that's a big one. It would last you a while.
That's right.
Again, this is going to go completely like
The other
side of
Okay.
things. I really enjoy Anne Rice, and she writes some big old books too, and they are, all jam packed with just so much detail, and a lot of them have some really interesting like historical aspects and just the character development is fantastic.
Yes.
Most often people think about the Vampire Chronicles with her, but my favorite Anne Rice is the Mayfair Witch trilogy. The Witching Hour is the first book in that trilogy. Definitely one of my absolute favorites of all time, those 3 books, which they did adapt for television.
Yeah.
And unfortunately
That's not good.
No, it's not good. It's not good.
I also just realized I pulled a full Mean Girls when she's asked what's describe the perfect day. I'm thinking
April 20th.
I've never read a book about a desert island before or a movie, but okay. Now you mean like if we're stranded?
Yes, that I could have done a better job describing.
I was like, wow, 5? Who reads 5 books about a desert island?
Specifically, it's a hyper fixated.
Well, my clue was when she said "Gone with the Wind." I'm like, oh, she's way off. Okay.
They're like, Diane, that's in Atlanta.
She's
not
thinking of a
Georgia.
different.
Okay, let's start there. Well, if I were stranded on that type of setting, well, I would have to ask if there's electricity involved.
Yeah.
But let's say there's no electricity, we're stuck there, and kind of what would I sort of be left to? Man, I probably still the Mummy.
Like, y'all got the Brendan Fraser box set? Let's run it.
It's the only thing that managed to survive the shipwreck.
You know that there's a librarian in that. You know, I mean, Rachel Weisz plays the librarian.
That's
so
right.
And maybe my saving grace is that's when asked reference questions. That's sort of where my mind goes to, is like the literal sense of what you're asking. There's no imagination involved in reference. So, okay, well, I'm back up to speed.
Okay, great. we're all here.
Yeah.
We're present.
Yes.
I think on that note, I unfortunately, Dalton, I think it's time
it's
for
time.
it's time for the Vlasic.
This will be my punishment. For...
Do you care to find out some more information? It's another puff-based snack for us today. These pickle balls are also a new entry into the snack world, apparently. We're also near impossible for the SnakChat R&D team, aka Brett, to track down here in Frankfurt. These are actually corn puffs with dill pickle flavoring added. That just sounds great, right? And most reviews online have clocked the off-putting pickle green color these puffs have. If folks
I
can
love that.
see.
I mean, commit to it.
I don't mind it
that
either.
it's green.
I don't mind it either. Don't hide it.
This green reminds me of the wasabi. It's giving me that kind of very which also scares me.
Also wasabi. Or no, I'm sorry, you said wasabi.
Yeah.
Matcha.
Yeah,
Matcha is coming to mind
Matcha
as
green.
well, speaking in the sort of Japanese vibe. Most reviews lean positive, though, with pickle lovers signing up for more snack offerings from Vlasic. We'll see if they can
I'm going to
convert
make it be
Dalton.
known I don't like pickles. So when I smelled this,
They
it
smell
smells like a jar of
very
pickles.
Do you
like
think,
a jar of-
do you think that was that's got to be the smell?
That has to be the smell, yeah.
Yeah. I think I've gotten used to it
Because
now.
I
but
originally thought it was the Funyun, but it's definitely
it's
this.
definitely that.
I feel like I ate a vinegar flavored puff.
Yep. I'm not getting a lot of pickle for me. Maybe a hint.
Just a little bit, but not
But
much.
very, very vinegar. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Dalton.
It lives up to its name. I think out of all of these, when labeled with like a flavoring, this one's the most reflective of what they were trying to do.
Wait, I just ate another one.
Okay.
And the
you have
pickle hit
two?
me
Okay.
on the second one.
Okay.
Oh, it didn't on the first one? Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to trust you on that one.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
take
okay.
another
I just
Did
had a
it
second one.
hit you a little bit
A
more?
little bit
the
more.
second time?
Yeah. It's weird. It's like such an overwhelming vinegar
Yeah.
flavor as soon as
Yeah,
you
like
take a
like
bite.
salt and vinegar chip, that level of vinegar.
Yeah, and then maybe just like a hint of dill.
Yeah. If it were more dill,
Yeah.
I think it would be better.
What's the leader in the pack so far? Is it the pizza
Yes.
puffs? I think so.
Yes. I'm going pizza puff.
Yeah, and even those were good, not great, I would say.
I'm still, not because I'm biased, but I feel like I would probably retreat back to the Butterbeer.
Yeah,
Maybe
those were pleasant.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's the one sweet of everything we've done so far. And I feel like it's the one that Cheetos would be maybe a close second, but maybe I just have a natural inclination to sweeter things versus savory.
Right. That's a good call. Okay, Dalton, you mentioned that was it your grandparents that collected DVDs?
Yes.
Yes. We have a physical media adjacent and collecting question. Do you collect anything yourself?
Man. So yes.
It doesn't have to be books or movies, or
Yeah.
it could be anything.
So when I was, I probably could say a year. I don't know how old this is off the top of my head, but maybe like the year that the Polar Express movie came out, 2003 maybe.
That's
2002?
sounding
I don't
right.
really know.
03,
This is going to
04.
make me feel old, isn't it?
Yeah, when Diane graduated high school
In
and I was in
2002.
first grade.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
He tells the whole tale.
No.
Yeah.
I was a freshman in high school in 2002. So.
Okay. All right.
wow,
Well,
okay.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
So there's a silver bell in this story, and Hallmark sold replicas of these silver bells.
Okay.
And so my mom bought one, and on the box, I still have it to this day, because the bell was considered the first gift of Christmas, and so she wrote the first gift of Christmas of the year, which is not. But every year since then, she's always gotten me a Hallmark ornament. Well, it was several years leading into that, I realized, why have I not been collecting the Harry Potter ornaments? So I have probably, I don't know how many Hallmark Harry Potter ornaments from every year they released it. I get every single one
But
of them.
you also have a full Harry Potter tree that you do.
Yeah, we do a
So-
whole tree. Yeah, so that's, in terms of actually every year I'm collecting it actively is those ornaments.
I meant to ask you this earlier. Is your husband into Harry Potter as well? Do you guys share that? Or?
No. So, well, yes. Well,
Okay.
in a way, so he enjoys it because I enjoy it. That
sweet.
sort of thing.
very
So,
sweet.
the first time he's ever read it was when we were on our road trip to Universal Studios. We
that's-
listened to the first one.
That's really
and-
sweet.
Yeah, and
Aw.
it's always great when I love like Harry Potter trivia. I know we just circled right back to this.
Oh, yeah,
but,
sorry.
I love, so when we talk about the films and randomly, he'll be like, what was that person's name? Or what happened here or whatever. I always enjoy talking about it. And so, but yeah, my whole family knows. So that's the one thing I collect. Now, my husband actually is like a toy collector.
Yes.
Oh.
So he is a huge like Barbie fan, and so we have, everybody knows our guest bedroom we call it the doll room.
It's amazing.
It's just bookshelves full of dolls from different decades, primarily like 90s, 80s, 2000s.
Yeah.
So I developed a love for toy history,
Yeah.
which is the most fascinating type of history. So we have polar opposite collections, but we equally sort of enjoy both of them.
That's amazing that you all can share the love of collecting.
Yeah.
Right. Diane, what about you? Anything you collect?
Yes. I have a quite extensive Alice in Wonderland collection. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland has always been one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
And I would encourage anyone who thinks that they know to actually go and read the Lewis Carroll, like the actual text, because it's not a children's book necessarily. Like it's definitely
it's been adapted many times.
Yeah.
And
So there's a lot more in there. So I would encourage anybody to go back and read Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass if you haven't. It's a different experience as an adult, but. I have quite the extensive Alice collection, book-related things, different editions of the book, different illustrators of the book. I have a pretty big collection of things that have the original or have been adapted from the original illustrations by John Tenniel. Of course, I've got a lot of the Disney Alice stuff, but like Dalton says, when somebody knows that you collect something, you get a lot of that stuff. So I've got pretty much any film adaptation that's ever been made. I have it, which there are a lot.
I was actually going to ask you. Do you have a favorite like adaptation of that story or in that world? And
this is going to seem like a generic answer, but I really do love the Disney version. I mean, there's tons. Trust me, there are tons. And the Tim Burton one's got a lot of hate, but I enjoyed the first one. The second one went a little off the rails, but
I actually forgot he did too.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of really cool adaptations. I mean, there was one that had Cary Grant in it. There were some neat little TV shows that kind of were loosely based on it in my childhood. I don't know if you remember the one where the girl she was like in her bedroom and the cat was in there. It was very Alice, but then she would go through the mirror and she would go, I remember that from childhood, but there's just a lot of different ones with a lot of interesting actors. I think there was a Kathy Bates like TV adaptation from several years back. There's a lot.
And that does when there's that many adaptations in that world, it speaks to the how much that story has resonated with people over generations. So.
Yeah, and so, but. The Disney's probably my favorite just because it's iconic and it's what I watched when I was little and loved so much. But any new Alice things that come out, I get very excited about. And it seems like there are always new like picture book versions that are coming out. And I've got so many that are from illustrators from around the world. And I always get very excited. So anything Alice.
Yeah. So if anybody's looking for Christmas gifts for Dalton or Diane, you've come to the right place. You figured it out through here. Hey, are you guys ready for a little sweet treat to end our snacks here in our combo? We've got the Selena Gomez Oreos. This is a big thing. I mean, if you've heard about this a lot with Oreos and doing some limited edition ones with different artists. I think one of my favorites from recently was the Post Malone Oreos were quite good and hard to find. But the Selena Gomez ones were released just about 4 weeks ago. Packaging says Selena's chocolate and cinnamon cream cookies. Can you all guess what flavor they're going for? What kind of
Is it like churro? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, because of her kind of Hispanic culture.
It says, the answer is at the end. Do I have the answer? I don't see it, actually. The intended flavor, horchata.
Horchata.
Okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay. There we go. I found it. Reviews online have leaned strongly positive with the R&D team, finding only a couple negative reviews. Those negative reviews, though, point out an apparent softness of the cookies themselves, which is interesting, and as well as a suspected double layer of cream. It's looking more like double stuff.
Which is the only way to go.
I love that though.
I do too.
Only way to go.
The tier for me, tell me if you agree. Double stuff, regular mega stuff. The mega stuff is
a little too much. Yeah,
it's too much.
And if you eat the thins, I don't know who you are.
That is just sad. The thins are sad.
The thins, they can be good, I think. With certain, I don't know that I would want an OG thin Oreo, but I think like the lemon ones maybe, or some of the other ones maybe. I don't know. Tiramisu, I think, was a flavor of the thin, but you all say no. Put them in the Hague.
Yeah.
They're going, okay.
I will say I knew about these, and it was the one flavor that I was like, I don't know if I would like it, but quite frankly, I really like it. I really do. Sometimes when I think of
too.
cinnamon, I think sometimes there was a Mountain Dew flavor that had a cinnamon to it. And it was more of like a spice, not spices and hop, just spices like I don't know. Anyways, it was a very sharp flavor. And so my brain went to that with this, but I really like this.
I love cinnamon.
Too, actually.
My favorite ice cream is cinnamon ice cream. Do you remember that? It was before Cold Stones took over everywhere, but do you remember the place called Marble Slab? There was one in Lexington, but they were kind of same concept. But they had a vanilla cinnamon ice cream, and it was my absolute favorite. I'm going to get it as a milkshake.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that vibe from like this cream and cinnamon kind of thing. So.
Yeah. I actually quite enjoyed that.
Very good.
If you were selected to have your own Oreo, what flavor are we talking?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Like if I was the featured person on the thing. Dill pickle. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen,
No, that's a really good question, actually. I'm sure they've done like matcha, maybe, but I really like matcha flavor.
I am going to go on a limb and say, because I think this would be really different and very controversial, but I love like dreamsicle, orangesicle things. Okay.
I do. No. That was a good, a bad one for.
I was like, all right, well, I've lost 2 supporters.
I would be very supportive of that for you, but I don't know that it would be my favorite.
Well, listen, when we're on a desert island, that's the only thing we got to eat.
But would that be on like the golden Oreo cookie?
Is that vanilla?
Yeah.
Is that the vanilla flavor? Probably. Yeah, I don't think a chocolate would mix
No,
well with
I don't
it.
think so either.
I think that leans really well to it, though, the vanilla cookie, for sure. Yeah. Well, okay, last question, though, for along these same routes, because we mentioned, there's been a Post Malone, Selena Gomez. There's been some other ones that I'm not remembering at the moment.
Yeah.
Are there any artists, like a solo artist or a band?
I know what the answer to this one's going to be.
Yeah? Go for it.
Yes, Dalton's answer is Miley Cyrus.
Oh, that's
he wants
perfect.
the Miley Oreo.
So it's Harry Potter and then Miley. Like those are my 2.
I'm glad we were able to touch on both of those. Yes.
Yeah. My 30th birthday is coming up this coming year, and I've said for the past couple of years, my 30th, we're gonna go all out, and everybody comes representing. We're in this era of eras, people representing like Taylor Swift eras and things like that, and so I want people to come. Pick your favorite era and
of Miley. So she's definitely one of those artists that like you can pretty distinctly look back at certain eras of her career, and I think I like that about her, right? And you can speak to that too. That she seems to follow her arrow when it comes to her interests, right?
Was that generation that grew up with what I feel like was the golden era of Disney, and obviously Hannah Montana was one of those, and so are y'all laughing because I'm just
No, I love it. No,
okay.
I think it's
This is
fabulous.
another age thing.
No,
You're like, that whipped.
I was just excited for you.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah, but so a lot of, and Selena Gomez being one of them.
Yeah,
I grew up with where they started and followed many of them up to this point.
What do we know? Like what some of Miley's favorite like flavors might be? Like what would she go for if she were a featured artist? Do you know?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, I guess it depends on. I feel like right now, based on the project she's released right now, which is very cinematic, I feel like it would be a very what's a flavor that would be considered not savory, but something very sensual and delicate? Maybe overly heavy chocolatey.
Yeah, like red velvet comes to mind. Maybe
I think a
super
red velvet would
chocolate.
be good.
With that.
Okay,
something very moody. I think would be kind of cool.
Diane, an artist.
Oh my gosh,
want to feature an Oreo?
Has there been a Dolly Oreo?
No, but
I feel
there
like
ought to be.
I think we need a Dolly Oreo. She has her own line.
She has
stuff.
cake. She has icing.
And she's got an amusement park. She's probably got.
Has everything.
There's lots.
I would eat. I think a Dolly Oreo would go over very well.
Yeah,
it would obviously be pink, I would assume.
Or it could be pink, or she could go like you could do like a peach thing, like a golden Oreo with some kind of like peachy flavor. Because I know in her food line she's been doing like the peach. I think you can get like the peach cobbler, different things like that. So it's very Southern.
Yeah.
But
Very Southern.
but yeah, if not, something pink for sure.
Yeah. I think that's a good call.
Dolly, where's our Oreo?
Honestly, the question of the show, Dolly, where's our Oreo?
Yeah.
Honestly. Okay, final verdict on the snacks. What do we think?
The Oreo for me was the biggest surprise, and I feel like it's my number one. Pickles are the last for me. Unfortunately, whatever number we're at, it's at the bottom.
Dan, what do you think?
As I said, I'm more of a savory snack kind of gal, so I'm gonna go with the pizza puffs.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
But I do like the Oreos too. And if we could dial up the dill on the Vlasic, I'd give them another shot. But otherwise,
yeah, I think I'm going Oreo and then the pizza puffs for sort of the savory. Yeah. That would be my 1A, 1B. Anything that we're kind of at the end of our time here. Is there anything that you guys want to sort of promote? Any sort of call to action? Where to find you? I know we talked earlier at the start of the show about all the awesome programs you guys are involved in.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle of summer reading right now. That'll run through the end of July. But we've got a jam-packed fall.
Oh yeah, that just leads right into the fall school year starting.
It does. Yeah. And just remember that we have obviously materials for all ages, but also programming and other types of activities and resources for all ages. Always visit our website at www.pspl.org. We're also on Facebook and Instagram if you want to keep up with our events and kind of what's happening. Our calendar's obviously on our website. Dalton, what do you have coming up this fall that you're most excited about?
Yeah, so I know Diane mentioned our virtual reality, which is something that we adopted last year, and it's been sort of a learning experience for me, but it's surprisingly has sort of gained a following of a group of our adult patrons. But there is a production studio called Targo, and they create virtual reality documentaries that are meant to be viewed in VR. Oh, so really cool. It's a documentary that makes you feel like you are in the film rather than just viewing it. So last year we offered one called JFK Memento, and it told this story around kind of what was happening around the day JFK was assassinated. This year, we are going to be offering a story called Surviving 9/11, 27 Hours Under the Rubble, which follows this woman who was one of the last surviving people to be pulled from the towers after they fell. Yeah. And it tells her story. But, aging myself again, I was very young when that incident happened, and I never had the opportunity to see the Twin Towers. My first experience was Home Alone 2, when he's standing on the Twin. That's when I knew about the Twin Towers. Yeah. But this experience has an opportunity where you get to feel like you're standing on the street, looking at the towers. You go inside the tower. It's incredible. Despite the story that surrounds it. It's done very beautifully. It's a great film. I think it's around 30 minutes long, so it's not a full day thing. But yeah, so we'll be offering that in September.
I think that's an amazing program. And I think, more so than just you get a sense for it when you watch a film or if you're reading a book on it, but I feel like being there in the moment through a virtual reality experience would really heighten that sense of perspective about what's going on in that given scenario, and that one in this scenario for 9/11 highlight the horror of that moment, and really drive that home. Yeah.
But there'll be some other opportunities coming up with that. Dalton's done a really great job kind of introducing our community to that technology. We've got some regulars here who come to all of them now.
And what's really great too is I have a couple that come to mind. Some of our regulars are in their 70s,
Oh, that's awesome.
And so there's this misconception that, technology, especially new modern technologies such as VR can be very intimidating and maybe be targeting a certain group of people. But I think that's one of the biggest surprises that I've had is the wide sort of age range that I've had come and experience, but also come out of it feeling fearless and ready to do it again. It's been really great.
That's so cool. And because, again, it's part of the library being a great community center as well, and working with folks that they might have never, that's probably a thing they never would have done. Bought an Oculus rig or doing whatever at home and just have that. There's a barrier for entry there that I think you all do such a great job of knocking down and letting people give things a shot. So applaud to you all for everything you do at the library. And
thank you for your Cable 10 support of all that we do. You guys, we so appreciate your help in getting the word out to our community about all the things that are happening. So thank you so very much.
It's our pleasure. We love the library here on Cable 10 and Around 10 and SnakChat. And again, thank you all for being guests today.
Thank you.
Diane and Dalton. We really appreciate you all, and we'll have to have you back. What do you think?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
How'd you feel about your experience? Even though everything,
Oh, so fun. This was great. I'm going to never live down. I'm still stuck on the desert island thing. I'm not going to live. That's going to haunt me for the rest of the day. But no, I was so excited. I watch YouTube a lot, and I see these channels like Hot Ones. You know. I think the concept is so great, so I was excited to be a part of it.
Good. We're so glad to have you all here, and we appreciate everybody at home for watching SnakChat today, and we'll see you next time on another edition of SnakChat, where we'll snack and chat with another guest. We'll see you later. Great job.
I hope we didn't talk too long.
No, it's fine.
I know.
Honestly, it was so natural.
I know, you get us talking and we'll just keep on.
No, it felt great. It was awesome.
Go outside as stars in the sky.
I can't believe you told them we watched Sister Wives.
Well, what's really crazy is you said physical media. I don't know if you said show, but obviously something in my mind triggered to reality TV.
Yeah.
Dalton's like, we like to watch polygamy shows.